Hello everyone, it's me, Danya, back again. This time it's almost 1 a.m. I'm a little bit late, but hey, God's time. All the time. So basically, what I'm here to talk about is the importance of getting up. So, a backstory. I'm what you call a follower of God who tests the limits and falls all the time, but still chooses to get back up. Meaning, in order for me to grow, sometimes you just gotta test the water. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, even if you fail at it. But it doesn't mean that God will persecute you for it or not want you to get up, because why would he not want you to get up, right? A lot of times I'm thinking about God, and I'm thinking about all these different aspects of following God and everything, and I just wonder how many times we just don't believe that God wants us to get up, that he wants us to keep in this cycle of sinning and keep ourselves in this box of what we think we could only do. And that's not true at all. In fact, if I'm going to be honest, he values more of you getting up than you just sinning and staying there. Because if you're anything like me, you magnify your mistakes. You think that you want God to see your mistakes and see that you notice your mistakes, but in reality, you're just noticing your mistakes more and more rather than noticing the actions that matter after the mistakes. And really, through this very tough time that I had, through this season of just magnifying my positives and everything, and even God challenged me with that. He was like, I know you messed up, but look at what you did after. I'm just like, what? I totally just messed up, and you want me to think about the happy times? Because a lot of times we want to stay in the cycle, we think that God wants us to stay in this pity party of, yeah, I've sinned, I'm a sinner, oh my gosh, OMG, and it's just God does hate the sin, but he does not hate the sinner, and we get those two confused. At least I did. I knew that God didn't like sin. But when you're in the midst of doing sin or doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, it feels as if you have to magnify it. You have to open it up and say, yes, I did it. I know I did, and everything like that. And God knows you did it. You know you did it. Everybody knows you did it. That's not really what he wants you to focus on. He doesn't count how many times you fall. He doesn't. He counts how many times you get back up. He doesn't want you to stay in a cycle of magnifying your mistakes. He wants you to get out of that cycle and magnify what you did after. I call them after actions. Prove it. So, I'm reading my Bible, right? And my two favorite people in the Bible is Paul and Peter. I'm literally Paul and Peter mixed together, I do things without thinking about it, and then I have this whole wisdom thing about me that's just Paul and Peter. And Peter is one of those people who don't think about anything that they're doing, who just goes for it, and hey, if I mess up, but at least I did it, and I can say that, who really thinks about getting in Jesus's way? You don't think about that. No, who really thinks about walking on water? He didn't think. He just did. And that's one of the things I admire about him a lot, and everything. And Paul. Homeboy was killing Christians. You love to see it. But throughout these two characters in the Bible, They didn't let their circumstances bound them to what they knew. Like, Peter cut off ears, cussed, got in Jesus' way, denied Jesus. They made eye contact. And he still chose to get up. I just wondered in my mind, like, was God really counting how many times Peter fell? He fell a whole bunch of times, and probably many more than they even put in the Bible. Let's just be real. But God didn't value how many times he fell. He valued how many times he got up. Because even then, that showed the dedication he had to God. That showed the love that he had for God. Because if you don't love something, you're not going to want to pursue it anymore. It's just going to sit there. And you're just going to be in that cycle. And even with Paul, I mean, his whole life he was killing Christians, and then all of a sudden he's blinded and he turns his life around. That's not an easy thing to come by, what he knew and where God was taking him. Because let's be real, he could have stayed on that floor and just been depressed. He didn't have to change his life around. God did not make him. He did not say, you are going to die or you follow me. He didn't say that. He was blind for 3 days. After his blindness, he could have said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go back to what I'm doing. But Paul chose not to. He fell. You know, everything stripped away from him and he fell. But he chose to get back up. And throughout this life, it's not about falling. We love to magnify our fall and learn from them, of course, but it's about getting up. I don't care how many times you fall. That doesn't matter. God's not counting that. He's counting how many times you get up. He's counting how many times you choose to be with him every single day, because every single day is a choice. Every single day is a battle. It's a different battle. Every single day. That's you getting up. That's you choosing to fight with him. That's you choosing to be with him forever. The get up method. You know? And I can name how many times I fell. Whew. You would think that God would not like me, right? I'll tell you a story. So, of course, I'm a senior in high school, and, you know, walking with God or whatever, you know, we can bloop, 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 bloop. And I had feelings for this dude, and we would FaceTime all the time, and everything would be great, and everything like that. And one night, we're on FaceTime for a while, and God said, it's time for you to hang up now. And I said, okay, I don't really want to, but okay. And for some odd reason, what he said, I forgot. I don't know how I forgot, but I did. And so we stayed on the phone for like almost half the night, all the way till like half the morning. And then, you know, I hang up. Everything's cool, fine, or whatever. Wake up the next morning, and guilt is just on me. Conviction, as you would say. And of course, I get up to go to church, and he's just like, get off. We need to talk about this. And I'm like, I know. And I'm so prepared. Like, y'all don't know. I was so prepared to just say, I'm so sorry. God, I know you hate it. I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to be better than this. Oh my gosh, Lord. And literally, I was saying that, and he was like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. I go on Pinterest, and the first thing it says is, I forgive you. you just had to forgive yourself. And I'm just like, God, this has never happened to me before. Like, usually, like, what the heck is going on? And he was just like, I had to allow you to fail in order for you to get back up. I was just like, what? What are you talking about? I don't understand that method. You know, like, why would, like, we were doing so good. Like, what do you mean? Like, whatever happens just makes you stronger. And he was right. Because sometimes we had to fall just to get back up. Maybe God wants to test us to see whether we'll choose him even after we feel so confident in this walk. So confident knowing that, oh yeah, I always obey God and everything like that. And I always do everything. And it's just like, do you really though? That test, that question, I call them daring questions. Really? Are you sure? Okay. He did it with Peter. I mean, Peter was a rock with Jesus. And yet, for some odd reason, you would think that when you walk with Jesus for a while, that you would never deny him, not once, not twice, 3 times. And I wonder, did God allow him to fall in order for him to be better for the future, for the assignment that he had? You know? Like, does God allow us to fall in order for us to get back up and be stronger? The get up method. Because no person forgets about Jesus and is ashamed of him, especially with walking with him for a while. When you were not just a fisherman, you became a fisher of men. When you walked on water and you deny him. I feel with Peter on this one. Because he just forgot. It didn't cross his mind. He didn't think about it. I just forgot. It didn't cross my mind. I didn't think about it. But I didn't let that situation define who I am. Because it does not. A lot of times we say, I'm a sinner saved by grace. But yeah. Sinner. If you keep telling yourself you're a sinner, you just keep surrounding yourself with that energy. Facts are facts. But rather tell yourself something positive, like, one thing I use is, I'm God's princess. Royalty, baby. Even through the mistakes that I make, I'm still royalty. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day, blessed night, blessed dreams. And breathe. Just breathe.